On. Good. So really this is, the guys know this that have been around, this is really, now they're in camp. This is camp. We started the week way back when this started, and it was acclimation. Then you get to put the pads on, it's all fresh and new. Then you go to the Giants, different opponent, and now we're back home, and we're seeing the same faces. And so this is when, you're sore, you're tired, you're beat up, you find out who's who. And this is where you get an advantage if you approach it that way. So, and we will, and our guys will. But that's where we're at. Today's going to be get them on their feet, move them around, 4-minute backed up, one-on-ones, crisp, clean, and really prepping them for tomorrow. So we're going to get good work, but it's really over the next 2 practices after this is where the bulk of what we're going to get is coming in. But I like where we're at.
You guys are going to be counting on at the cornerback spot, Amit, Katarian, and Ian Ennis all got their Lions debuts. I think 4 targets between the 3 of them, 1 catch. Just maybe how you thought that trio performed in their kind of first performance at a revamped position.
Yeah, it was encouraging from all those guys. Certainly you already mentioned TA. I thought had a good week of practice. Got some really, really good reps out there outside. And, he's a competitive guy, which we already know. And he just continues to grow every day. And then for what he got in the game, he really wasn't targeted. He did a good job. I thought Ennis really showed up. I did. He got a lot of reps defensively and special teams. And I thought he competed in all of them. And he's just another one of these young guys that continues to get better. The game's not too big for him. So we like where he's trending right now. He's just got to keep stacking them up. And Amit went in there and did a nice job for us, played the nickel. And that was good to see. So, yeah, all those guys you listed are really stepping up. And look, Dorse did a good job too now. So we like where we're at the corner position right now.
Coach, how you plan on monitoring Hendon Hooker? I mean, obviously we saw what happened to him in the game, but going forward this week, or any updates on him at all?
Yeah, honestly, we don't know. We don't know where he's going to be. He's not going to be out there today. We probably won't have him tomorrow. And so it's looking less like we will have him in practice this week until Friday, getting ready for the Chiefs. And that's not a guarantee yet. Until, he obviously clears the concussion protocol, then we're on a hold with him. So that'll kind of play itself out. But, as you guys saw, there was some encouraging things in there. He was able to move the offense down the field. Man, he saw a couple of things, had a hot throw, did a good job on one of his progressions, kicking it back out to the back. Had a couple of runs there. So for the limited snaps that he was in there with a very limited package offensively, it was promising. But there's not a lot of reps, and we don't know until he's ready to go. We're on hold with him, really.
Given the unknown of concussions in the recovery period here, do you need to add a quarterback to the roster?
Brad and I talked about that this morning. That could come down the wire, today or tomorrow. There is a chance, and I think we'll have a pretty good idea this afternoon as to do we need to go ahead and do that just to make sure we've got a guy other than Nate, for the game. So we've talked about it.
Are you planning on playing starters at all in KC? Is that?
I'm thinking about playing some of these guys. I'm back and forth a little bit right now, so we'll see. We're a little bit open to everything. I know right now the priority for me for these guys, particularly for the guys, the core of this team will be, these next 3 practices. Like that to me is where it all starts. And depending on the type of work we get, the quality work, the amount of reps, that'll tell me what we need or don't need going into Kansas City.
One of the other things, you guys talked this offseason about knowing you have a bullseye on your back, so to speak. Do you feel like you guys got a little taste of that in New York last week at all?
Yeah, I think so. I think those, and rightly so. I mean, those guys want to come out and, it's a brand new year, and they were coming off a playoff season and then, had some, kind of a rough patch there, injuries, a number of things that happened to them, and they want to get back in it, and they got a lot of young guys. They brought in some free agents. They're trying to make their mark too. And that's the nature of this league. You know, it's a lot of it is where we were at 2 years ago, and you know you're going to give your best to everybody. And now it's still about giving your best, but understanding, you know, how you're going to be approached. You know, you're going to get everybody's best shot. So it was good. It was great for us to really get that. Honestly, it was. And I go back to, we really got unbelievable work. We really did. At the end of the day, the tape was outstanding to be able to watch on both sides. And I'm talking about the mistakes too that were made. We can learn from.
Looking back 5 days ago, whatever, when all the fisticuffs or feistiness, whatever, do you look back at that and say, no, too much, or a good sign that they
Yeah,
are?
I mean, so, look, we don't. I mentioned this, and the guys know this. It's the worst part about it is you having to stop the drill, reload the drill. You just took 3 minutes to do that. And so if you had 3 or 4 of those, you just spent 12 to 15 minutes trying to break up a fight, reset the drill. It's just a waste. Everybody's on their legs, and that's not efficient, you know. And so that's not what we went out there for, you know. But at the same time, those things happen, you know, and you talk about it and then, you know, you push forward. The most important thing is to get good work out of it, and we did.
You can tell the game truly started, because I'm going to ask a long snapper question. Hogan Haddon's getting a lot of good work. He's kind of got a unique background with having the linebacker flexibility as well. Just, you know, how real is that competition? What have you seen from Hogan this offseason?
That's real competition. One of the reasons we wanted to bring Hogan in, it was, you know, he was intriguing was his coverage ability. You know, he did play linebacker in college, and so he runs pretty good. And he's kind of got an awareness on the football. You know, you saw he played some defensive snaps for us, a couple. We needed him in there with where we were at linebacker to finish the game out. So that's what he's got. Now it's about, okay, well, can you know, what we know about Daly's been able to snap consistently and under pressure, big games, different looks, handling the protection and the snap. And so that's the next step for him. You know, he's got to be able to prove that he can do that with a rush on him. And games on some of these hard situations is what we've got to try to put him in. But it is a real competition right now.
You mentioned it was a shoulder injury for Nate Lynn after the game. Do you have an update on him?
Yeah, he'll be done. He's probably going to be done. He and Connor Galvin are probably done for the season.
After watching the tape, what are your expectations for Sudfeld this week?
Yeah, to improve. You know, and I would say that with any of these guys, just make the smart decision. You know, do the things that into game, into half, third downs, that we know that's why you're here. You know, and just make all that clean. I don't need to make every throw, but just those little things and improve a little bit. And that'll go a long way. It's as simple as that. It really is.
You mentioned your young cornerbacks. Are the rookies as advanced as you've seen rookie cornerbacks coming into the league, comparable to anything?
It's hard for me to say that. Look, here's what's unique is they both have ability. Let's start there. They both have ability, but they're also wired the right way. And I think that's the hard thing. We talk about it with that position. It's one thing to be able to cover or be able to run, play man-to-man, but then, you know, you got to understand you're going to get beat on some stuff. And then how does that affect your psyche? What about when, okay, we're going to play man-to-man and now we're getting all the rubs, right? That's the next thing. Everybody thinks you just line up in these spread sets and you're going to play man-to-man, get right in his face. Well, that's great until you start getting the bunches and the stacks and they make you pass them off and you got somebody running at you and you stop or, oh, wait, I thought that was yours. And where you feel pretty good about both of these guys is they have the right attitude. I mean, they don't lose confidence. They're dying to go man to man. They're all about winning their one-on-ones, and they're both pretty smart guys. You know, so I think that's what makes them intriguing to see and to watch.
You mentioned a few standouts on Thursday. Just wondering if anyone else caught your attention after watching the film.
No, I think everybody we kind of talked about, you know, B. Joe, I thought really showed up. You know, what's really encouraging, you talk about going into the game, all right, here's where you got to be better, you know, whoever that player is. And to see those players do what we were asking him to do. You know, Bijo, man, we need you to be more physical down in the box. You know, you got to play bigger when it comes time to, and he did that, and he came away with a takeaway. You know, he showed up, and I thought he tried to do that on special teams. That was encouraging. You know, Ukwu, man, we put these guys on some of these special teams reps, he and Nate Lynn and Betts, and they fought their ass off. You know, I mean, they were grinding, giving everything they've got, played hard on defense. So there was a number of these guys that it's the little things you don't always see, but when we tell them this is what we're looking for in the game and what you need to improve on, you could see that growth out of these players. There was a number of them, so that fires you up as a coach.
Dan, real fast, is there any update on Mahogany or a timetable for his return?
Yeah, he's in the building. I don't see him practicing this week, but he's here, and we're going to get him going, start working him, getting his body right, get him back there with Mike Clark and Fish and those guys, and just start getting him back in shape. He'll be in meetings, and then once we feel like he's in a good place physically, then we'll probably see where it's at there. But
Thank you.
thanks.